All right. Wow. Well, here we are. It is the first edition of the Between Waypoints newsletter issue for Elite Dangerous for Distant Worlds 3. It just came out, and I'm very, very proud to show it to you, as I have had a small part in its creation. I wrote something for it, and I was reached out by the editor who wanted to use one of my pictures as the main cover for issue 1. And so let me just go ahead and show it to you. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a peek. Here we are. Oh my goodness. So yeah, this is Between Waypoints, Edition 1. We're going to go ahead and read through it together. I don't really have too much planned for this stream except for viewing this. So let's go ahead and listen. All right, Between Waypoints, the official Distant Worlds 3 journal. Distance 0 light years. Issue 1, January 21st, 3312. Cover image by Commander Serenia. That's me. So this is... Oh, let's go back. This is the ship that I'm going to be using for the majority of this expedition. My Orca, as you've been seeing if you've been watching my streams. Let's actually view it in this view, because yeah, there we go. So we can see both sides of it at the same time. Okay, let's go ahead and read. Welcome, imaginary friends. All right, so here we have our editor, Naughty Gnate, or Naughty Nate. I love that. Designer, Amaritha. She's the one who I have to thank for my cover image on there. And there's my name there because I also wrote for this issue as well, which we'll see later on. We got editors, Oxford, Arbiter. I love that. Between Waypoints is a 2026 Distant Worlds organization. All rights reserved. Elite Dangerous and all related marking. All related marks are trademarks of Frontier Developments Inc. Between Waypoints is not an official Elite Dangerous website because they have their own website for running this too as a fan project. The views and opinions expressed in the newsletter do not necessarily represent those of the editor or the organizers or Frontier Developments. Let's go ahead and read this. Welcome, imaginary friends, by Commander Naughty Nate, editor. I'm sure you don't think of yourself as imaginary, but to my non-gamer wife with the FleetComm community is just that. A group of imaginary friends. Real or not, the task we are undertaking together is immense. In-game, we are part of a galaxy-spanning Distant Worlds 3 expedition, exploring new frontiers and state-of-the-art exploration vessels. In real life, we are a global community engaged in one of online gaming's most ambitious player-driven events. While fun is always the goal, sometimes that means coping with the challenges and taking your commanders outside of their comfort zone. And so, by the end of this expedition, I hope you will share a profound sense of satisfaction at our accomplishments. My own journey in the Elite franchise began in 1986, playing the original game on an Apple IIc. I later backed Elite Dangerous on Kickstarter and have been playing on and off since its launch. I missed the first Distant Worlds expedition, but managed to catch Distant Worlds 2, and found it to be one of the most satisfying experiences I have had in gaming. Much of that is creditable to the FleetComm community and the friendships I made along the way. In the intervening 7 years, much has happened both in-game and IRL. Distant Worlds 3 was considered abandoned, then happily revived by the player leadership team. Intense planning has been underway for a better part of a year. Some of the volunteers who formed the backbone of Distant Worlds and Distant Worlds 2 planning remain actively involved in Distant Worlds 3. Others have moved on to other games, other projects, and other stages of their lives. Similarly, we have had many returning commanders who participated in Distant Worlds and Distant Worlds 2. And of course, we have many newcomers for whom Distant Worlds 3 is their first expedition in Elite Dangerous. All are welcome. Between Waypoints is Distant Worlds 3's successor to the newsletters published during Distant Worlds and Distant Worlds 2, archives of which are available on the website. Its staff of new and returning volunteers are humbled by the knowledge that we stand on the shoulders of giants. And I am personally grateful that such a talented and dedicated staff of writers, copy editors, and designers is willing to take time out of the game to pour their creative energy into this magazine. Every 3 to 4 weeks during the expedition, we will release a new issue of Between Waypoints. In it, you will find stories ranging from RP roleplay, event coverage, to updates on players' real lives. Remember the couple who got married at Deagle Point during Distant Worlds? Oh, that's super sweet. The helpful information for getting the most out of the expedition. Between Waypoints will be your companion during the ups and downs of the expedition, reminding us that we don't travel alone. That we are united by this community and its dream of Distant Worlds. On behalf of the expedition's organization team and the staff of Between Waypoints, I welcome you, imaginary or not, to the Distant Worlds 3 expedition. And there we have the logo. All right, next page. Nice. A lovely picture here of a couple different commanders sitting at one of the bars. Commander Atham, NGC 1981 Sector ZU-Y D27. You know what? Let's take a peek. Let's see where that is in the star map. I'm very curious. Let's go and see. All right. Yeah, let's view it in here. Oh, okay. Huh, that's pretty close to Seoul. Yeah, quite close to Seoul, it looks like. Very cool. All right, back to it. So we have contents. All right, page 6, the story so far. Journey to the beginning. Then we have 10, Meta Elite and Distant Worlds 3. Nice, they're talking about Meta Elite. That's the custom program that is going to be used to track progress and in-game roleplay and story. Very cool app. It connects right into your journal and just gives you updates and stuff to do. Honoring Titans. I am curious about that, if that means the Titans from the Thargoid War. That's what I assume. 18, A Mindful Invitation. 20, Big Plans and Small Coincidences. 24, Scuttlebutt from the Black. And 32, Stellar Properties Scientific Survey. Nice, the giant scientific survey. There's a survey going on that is going to be taking a lot of the data gathered by the different commanders taking part in this as a rather large scientific survey of the game, of the star map, of the stellar forge that Elite Dangerous is built around. For generating the 3D environment and 3D world. Okay. The story so far, A Journey to the Beginning by Jimbo Forius. A lighthouse chained through the dark. Nice, we have a very beautiful picture of a nebula. Oh, I love this. Look at that. All of the, oh, it's so cool. I wonder if I can zoom in a little. Almost. There we go, 130. Okay, sweet. 150 is a little bit too big, but 130 is a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, look at all these. That's so cool. Alpha Crew, Distant Worlds, 3312, Echo Crew, Trailblazers, Bravo Team, Haulers of the Void, Foxtrot Crew. Let's actually, you know what, let's zoom in so we can see this a little bit better. Foxtrot Crew, Distant Worlds 3, 3311. Don't let the fox out of the box. Shoulder of Orion is what it says on there, and then Fragile. Here we have Charlie Crew, DSEV Odysseus, Shoulder of Orion. Here we have Delta Dolphins, Shoulder of Orion as well. Hoopin' and Hollin, Distant Worlds 3, 3311. Cool. Oh, and then this one too, the big one. Distant Worlds Trailblazers. Oh, that's super cool. I like that. The globe with the 3, and then we have like a little crane. That's a wonderful little emblem. Okay, let's read. A lighthouse chained through the dark. When it comes to planning a successor to the 2 most successful expeditions in Elite Dangerous history, it doesn't pay to play it safe. As Aramis Kamzel and his organizer team know well, A Distant World's journey is all about building a legacy that won't be forgotten. And so, when new mechanics were introduced with the Trailblazers update, they didn't hesitate, seeing the opportunity to build a lighthouse chain through the dark and create the perfect setting for the launch of the game's next great journey. As a result, Shoulder of Orion was born. At the time, a hugely ambitious project to push player-colonized systems further than any before. The target? the Orion Molecular Complex, a living, evolving monument to stellar birth, where hydrogen ignites into brilliant red and purples. What better backdrop could there be when the community launches off together on January 18th? But to understand the beauty of Shoulder of Orion and what has already been achieved in this remarkable cluster of space, you need to talk not to organizers sat behind their space desks, but to the pilots who were there on the front lines and who truly created this epic history. Hauling with the target. When the Trailblazers update came out, Commander Rudy Raumkraut saw the appeal, but was struggling to feel inspired. Building what he describes as, quote, a useless red dwarf systems. Building what he describes as, quote, useless red dwarf systems on the edge of the bubble, it was hard to come up with a, quote, role-play reason for all his hard work. That changed with Shoulder of Orion event, which meant hauling with a target, not just a narrative target, but a physical one. Instead of a solo hauler working on his own system, he was now part of a team of hundreds, working to unlock colonization opportunity for the whole community. His carrier was one of a small army of 90 such vessels, which worked in rotation, setting up at staging systems within a range of 6 colonization targets, often waiting for days at the end of hauling, for the hauling teams to reach them. This ensured that the hauling teams never ran out of the commodities they needed, and that an incredible chain of 244 newly colonized systems was knocked out within weeks. But the frontier was just one half of the equation. Take, for example, Commander Spica, one of many legendary haulers during the expedition, who made the selfless decision to work primarily in the loading systems, forgoing the glamorous frontiers, in order to ensure returning carriers could be filled, ready for the next voyage. Quote, we literally worked in shifts, reported Spica. Quote, loading an endless supply of empty carriers. Perhaps that sounds like hard work, and no doubt it was, but it was also extremely rewarding due to the team spirit of working together. She reports that it was one of the best times I've had while sitting in my cockpit for over 10 years now. One of the highlights of the expedition, at least for Commander... I need to pronounce this. Ligaratus? I think so. One of the highlights of the expedition, at least for Commander Ligaratus, another industrious hauler working in the resupply system, occurred at the end. With the loading system closing shop as the final fleet carriers of the operation were filled, the resupply team were ferried to the front lines so they could take part in the final Oculus building. Ligaratus describes, quote, the final loading haul and the carrier ride to the memorial system together. That's amazing. As one of the fondest memories of the whole event. That does sound like such a blast. Can you imagine that? You've been doing this for weeks, for months. You've been hauling, refilling empty ships, and then on the final day, your ship is carried onto the final carrier. The final ship, you are the cargo. You're taken out to the very end, and you get to take part in the actual building of the final base. Building the frontier. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this picture too. It's not going to be the most high res, but that is okay. Actually, it's not too terrible. Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. It almost looks like an ocean. Okay. Building the frontier. With the completion of Shoulder of Orion, the Orion region did not simply fall silent. Instead, a smaller but nonetheless dedicated group of commanders chose to form the, quote, Orion... There's no quote there. To form the Orion Alliance of Settlers and Independent Systems, or OASIS for short. Ah, such a good acronym. For Commander Rudy Raumkraut, the early days of OASIS captured something rare. OASIS, Orion Alliance of Settlers and Independent Systems. I love all the custom emblems. It's so good. The feeling of building the frontier. While the systems themselves were not unexplored, Frontier's new colonization mechanics were, and pioneers found themselves working without manuals to work out exactly how to bootstrap a bubble. Rules shifted, assumptions were tested, and knowledge was shared in real time. For Rudy, this uncertainty was part of the appeal. He recalls loving, quote, to be in the first row while a system settled, literally and figuratively. As Oasis became a living experiment in the player-driven expansion, from Oasis, chains were pushed outward toward another Orion star clusters, echoing the spirit of Shoulder of Orion on a more intimate scale. I'm gonna go ahead and share this with a friend real quick. My video. We'll continue in a moment. Shoulder of Orion on a more intimate scale. Let's go and reread that sentence. From Oasis, chains were pushed outward toward the Orion star clusters, echoing the spirit of Shoulder of Orion in a more intimate scale. One commander integral in this phase was a pilot called Muta Hadir, who helped pathfind routes and worked with Oasis leadership to adapt the loading bot from Shoulder of Orion for whole new purposes. I forgot about that. They used a bot in order to figure out exactly what each person should haul. That's so cool. And look at all these pictures. That's so cool. All right. I feel proud of what we've done to unlock new parts of space, he said when interviewed. The BoxBot system supports other expeditions. It is a platform for others to do what we did again. That is the true beauty. And look at his little icon. Look at that. It's BoxBot. Oh, I love it. All right. Commander Spica joined during the construction of the route to a cluster named OSC-3 and immediately recognized the familiar rhythm. It felt a bit like Shoulder of Orion again, but on a smaller scale. She notes, as a handful of committed haulers methodically extended the frontier system by system. The achievement was all the sweeter for its modest size. Reaching OSC-3 with a much smaller team felt like a great accomplishment again. I like that. You do something big, and then afterwards, now that you've kind of gotten used to the swing of things, you can do it more efficiently with a smaller crew. I like that. I guess there is, in some regards, that sort of efficiency and maybe practicedness with Distant Worlds 3 as a whole. But certainly, though, it's not smaller. Distant Worlds 3 is a massive, massive undertaking. There's so many people taking part in it. But I can certainly expect that, at least for the organization crew, it's something that they've done before, in a different way, and so I bet there's some amount of nostalgia to come back and do it again. All right, a place worth beginning from. There is a quiet poetry in launching Distant Worlds 3 from the Orion molecular complex. Orion has always loomed large in human imagination, present in sci-fi, pop art, and the culture of our times. Let's go ahead and look at these pictures again real quick. That's taken by Commander Spica. Wonderful. Commander Enigmatic. Running Man Sector. Nice. Pretty close to the launch system. For Distant Worlds 3. Commander Stoyan. Nice. We got some plamped. Look at that. Some nice plamped. In fact, that's actually... never mind. I was going to say, let's look at this, but on the star map, but I don't think we need to. Alright. As Commander Rudy Raumkraut observes, it is a region that feels both alien and familiar. Spectacularly different, yet still kind of near. By building Oasis and the Orion star cluster chains, commanders did more than prepare a convenient staging point. They created an invitation. As Rudy puts it, it became an honor, quote, to invite new settlers to enjoy and build in this area of space, end quote. A deliberate step away from the comforts of the bubble. For Commander Spica, that sense of enigma is key. For launching from the other side, surrounded by locked systems, lends the site an air of mystery and promise, framed by one of the most beautiful skyboxes in the galaxy. That's a sentiment echoed by Commander Muta Hadir, who describes the OMC as the most logical second bubble. That is a kind of an interesting quote, yeah. As well as being a tough area of space. Apparently there's something quite exciting about not even knowing who your neighbors are. I guess so. We don't know it's there because it's a permit locked system. Or permit locked systems, I should say. So we don't know it's there. That is very interesting. And perhaps most importantly, this is not a borrowed starting line. As Commander Ligaratus reflects, it, quote, feels right that it's the result of a community effort built from the ground up, end quote. Distant Worlds has always been about using the newest tools to push into the unknown, and in an era defined by colonization, there could be no more fitting place to begin that than a frontier created together for that very purpose. Written and assembled by Commander Jimbo Forias, with contributions from Spica, Rudy Roundkraut, Mutahadir, and Ligaratus. Wait, it's an R. Ligaratures. I want to say that. Ligaratures. All right. We continue. Meta Elite in Distant Worlds 3. This one, I don't think I'm going to read through too much on this. You can go ahead and look at this later yourself, but this is mostly about... that's cool. Whoa. The page was lifting for a second. Anyways, this is about Meta Elite, which is awesome, and I totally recommend you download. In fact, actually, let me just boot it up. Meta Elite. I have it modified to a different color, and so on my screen it actually appears blue. My game isn't loaded, so I don't know how much it'll actually be able to show. But you can modify the color of this program too, and so I made it blue to match my modified HUD. Oh yeah, and look, and it auto updates. How cool is that? Bam, downloaded. There we go, and now it's blue. So there we go. This is MetaLens, and so you can see here details, Serenia, contacts, all those different stuff, badges and titles, Frontier ID, just handy stuff. And as you're playing, it gives you details about everything going on. So Campaign Manager, we have Distant Worlds 3. I think I'm actually going to turn this one off. I can't remember how to do this. But suffice to say, Distant Worlds 3 is what I'm here for. Okay, let's close this and continue. Make sure that we actually closed it. Yes, we did. Okay. So yeah, this is Meta Elite, bringing story missions Unity to Elite Dangerous. An innovative companion software project developed by Commander Othon von Salza and the Distant Worlds Meta Elite team for Distant Worlds 3 Expedition Elite Dangerous, one of the biggest community-driven galaxy journeys ever organized. So yeah, it's really cool. Mention of Raxla. Love that. Okay, but yeah, there's all that. Why it matters. Delivering episodic narrative content, issuing optional missions and quests, connecting player actions to community goals. It's cool, I will say that. And look, Andrew Gesper, lead writer, I've chatted with him on Discord. It's a cool group. They have their own Discord. Actually, like, nice, it's linked right there, and the download for it. Cool thing, very cool to have as a tool for this expedition. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. All right, we're on to Honoring Titans. That was the next header. In remembrance of Commander Chiggy von Richthofen and Commander Phil P. Elite Dangerous is a game of vast emptiness. It is a game that scales in size and dimension based on one's knowledge of it and its inner workings. It is a game that has so much in it, so much that new players are often unaware of it. That's an overstatement, or an understatement, really. That's an understatement. There's so much to do in this game if you just go and figure out how to. If you open your mind. The average player flies along in many activities, and many do not grasp the full scale of the game. Many commanders find a niche on their own, without much influence from others, and blaze their own trails. Some hear about the exploits of others and are inspired to pursue the same. Other commanders happen to meet one right in their journeys. Rarer do any meet them on their pit stops back to the bubble from their forays into the black. Rarer still are long-lasting bonds forged. I am writing about two of those commanders, Chiggy von Richthofen and Phil P., who inspired countless others on their own ways, even though they are no longer with us. These are their parts of the story, told by many others. Macedonia, dangerous. End of the road. I've messed up. During an interview, a commander said that there were two different types of pilots in Elite Dangerous. The first is a commander that flies with and for their wing and fellow wingmen. The second is that flies for themselves. Commander Chiggy was the latter, but that doesn't mean he flew for nobody else. Described as dedicated and eager to prove himself, Commander Chiggy had the mentality, the desire, and the drive to be number one. In many ways, he was. At time of writing, he is number one in systems visited, according to Inara, at 256,351, with a lead of over 500,000 compared to the number 2 position holder, Commander VSV, and over 10 million light years traveled, placing him in number 8. Commander Chiggy gained fame for his exploits in exploration and also in deep space rescues. One of the most notable was the rescue of Commander Felix Macedonia. Commander Macedonia confessed on the Frontiers forums of a simple mistake, one that too many longtime explorers was equal parts horror story and familiar in experience. He had used up all of his materials for boosts. With the next system 1 light year further than his Type 6 transport's 29 light year range, he was stranded. Commander Chiggy von Richthofen had a plan and sent him a private message. After 2 days, over 60,000 light years, with much coordination and communication, the plan went into effect. Commander Chiggy was to mine the in-system asteroid belts for germanium, the material that Commander Felix needed for his next boost. After yet more time and with bated breath, did the plan succeed. Commander Felix was able to stream the rescue on Twitch and upload a 3-hour video to YouTube. Amazing. So well known was the success of this daring rescue, it has inspired commanders across the galaxy to visit their tourist beacons in the system, which was renamed to von Richthofen's rescue in honor to his effort. One commander spoke briefly on the inspiration it gave him to make a pilgrimage out to the system, all to mine 1 unit of germanium, just like Commander Chiggy. Another commander, a fuel rat, mentioned in brief that all of their exploration and rescue ships now have one mining laser, which they have dubbed the Chiggy laser, a unique name used by them. Another commander who was present declared that they too would refer to themselves as Chiggy lasers. I love that. Commander Chiggy von Richthofen exploits. Commander Chiggy von Richthofen's exploits in exploration are legendary. His feats are not only an inspiration to those who fly for themselves and by themselves, but to those willing to help others, those willing to dive into the deep, dark void and rescue those lost and stranded. Without commanders like Chiggy, who's to say how many systems went unexplored and exploration journeys lost? The community lost one of its titans. Godspeed, Commander. One person can make all the difference in someone's history, and Phil was that difference for a lot of people. It is... One person can make all the difference in someone's history, and Phil was that difference for a lot of people, is what the Elder Admiral of the Sidewinder Syndicate and longtime friend of Phil P., Commander Richard, said in an interview about the late commander. Described as the ever-present familiar face, a wise, kind, and knowledgeable man, many commanders felt welcome, no matter the activity whether it be an expedition or his signature station rescue missions. While Commander Phil P's own story began before many other commanders, it has not ended after his passing. And the background is from the Web Archive Frontier Forum thread, End of the Road. So this picture in the background, I think, is one taken by Macedonica, excuse me. Oh, that's so cool. So that picture, that's such a perfect background. Okay. Many commanders can trace lessons learned and experiences gained back to him and his steadfastness during a tumultuous time in Elite Dangerous' history and beyond. The year 2020 was a tough time for many commanders and for the game itself. Many pilots had grown jaded, and many more had put the game down. I assume that's a reference to, I can't remember the name of it, but there was an addition, I think it was Odyssey, to Elite Dangerous that changed some fundamental things. And it stirred up some strife among the community. In a time where the future of the game looked bleak, Phil P went out of his way to teach new pilots and help rekindle older commanders' love for the game. For those many, he opened up the possibilities of Elite Dangerous. Anytime anybody needed to help, he was there, and anytime passengers needed rescuing off of the burning station, you can bet that he was there too. Commander Phil P was well known for his exploits in station rescues. Commander Richard said that Phil was always present for every possible rescue because of a solid gut feeling that it was the right thing to do, and that he motivated many commanders to do the same. Oh, look at that! I think that's look at that! I think that's his ship. It is. That's super cool. So that's one of his rescue ships, the Ferrari Fridge. Oh, I love that. And then we have the Jiminy. Nice. Okay. Before the outbreak of the Second Thargoid War in 3303, he was ranked number 3 for passengers delivered in Inara, his ship of choice being a Federal Corvette named the Ferrari Fridge. Engineered specifically for the role of station rescues, the machine suffered negligible heating during its many runs and enabled the rescue of over 200,000 passengers in total. His exploits alongside the Post-Disaster Evacuation Service, PDES, is held in high regards by the Elite Dangerous community. Before, during, and after the Second Thargoid War, Commander Phil P was an avid explorer and had participated in many expeditions out into the Black in his favorite ship, a Diamondback explorer named Jiminy. He was present for the ill-fated journey to the Galactic Core, the Stellar Unknown expedition, and was one of the few responsible for getting the event back on track. Due to his efforts, hundreds of people were able to explore and catalog the center of the galaxy. This is where many people came to know Commander Phil P. He continued to participate in many more, alongside many other commanders, teaching all the while. His willingness to be there for anybody who needed any measure of help wasn't relegated to only Elite Dangerous. Commander Guy Wu, a member of the Post-Disaster Evacuation Service and good friend of Phil, expressed that it was difficult to put into words just how helpful he was alongside the other members of PDES in his own recovery. The two originally met in 2021, where Commander Guy Wu was flying primarily as a bounty hunter, with short forays out of the bubble. When the Second Thargoid War erupted, Phil taught him everything he knew and got him involved in station evacuations. The commander, who had logged over 10,000 rescues during the war, also fondly shared the memory of when, during an active rescue in a burning station alongside Commander Phil, their graphics card delaminated and caught fire. They had a literal and figurative fire on their hands. Oh my god. These moments are overshadowed by Phil's willingness to simply be present for Commander Guy Wu during his recovery after a 2-year-long coma. Oh, something that the commander says he is beyond grateful for. On the days where he struggled greatly, Commander Phil was more than willing to be an ear for Commander Guy Wu's Thargoid conspiracies. Haha, it was aliens. All the while, gently encouraging him to continue the work on his physical therapy. Due to his help, the commander has been walking again for 2 years and has been free of seizures for 1. Ultimately, hundreds of people were impacted by the late commander, whose patience, kindness, charismatic wit, and willingness to give all was the force that brought so many together. The constant motivation he gave other commanders gave rise to many excellent stories with many adventures, exploits, and even the Galactic Exploration Catalog, in addition to Commander Gaiwa's recovery. In his Anar biography, it reads, quote, "Coordinator of the Post-Disaster Evacuation Service, a small squadron dedicated to rescue operations from burning stations, keen explorer, and best-selling author of 50 Shades of Bark Mounds." End quote. Before his passing, his biggest desire was to help people discover that they can do so many things, and the legacy he has left behind could not be any more in line with that goal. We salute you, Commander. Commander Derek Donaghy. Oh, that's sweet. I'm so glad there's that. Wonderful pictures. I like that too. That's cool. Images by Commander Lysander 666. Look at that. I like that a lot. A mindful invitation. We have a picture of a commander here. I am privileged to write these words for the Distant World 3 fleet. For those words do not know me, For those who do not know me, I am Zel Akinai. This is in fact also the author of the article. Huh. Or that is also in fact the author of the article. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Also, Grim, hello again. And Amaritha, fantastic. Okay. She uses two names. Ah, okay. I see. That's awesome. That's super cool. Very nice. A Mindful Invitation by Zel Akinyi. Akinyi? Zel Akinyi? I feel like there's a pause there. Akinyi. Anyways, I am privileged to write these words for the Distant World 3 fleet. For those who do not know me, I am Zel Akinyi. I head the Raw Runners, a self-selecting group of self-selecting group of those who fly their ships unengineered, of which anyone can be a part. Oh, that's wonderful. The Raw Runners. So good. I feel like the Mandalay must take king for exploration in the Raw Runners. Then again, it kind of just takes king for exploring in general. The thing's so broken. Anyways, I say head, yet our philosophy is decentralized. I act as an anchoress based in two locations from the bubble in the outer arm DSSA Ericsson's Gateway, which serves as a safe haven to repair, rearm, and refuel our ships, as well as boost our beer glasses. Nice. Refuel our ships and our beer glasses. Fantastic. And my planetary base on the moon, Nala, a taste of honey in Arabic. Ah, that's wonderful. That's so cool. A taste of honey. These beautiful remote locations give me the mindset I need to carry out and report on the philosophy of raw running effectively. Open the Nala. Oh, gotcha. In our link when you get there. Roger that. Is that on the next page over? Oh, here it is, sorry. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. Let's click this. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, nice. Hosted on Lysander 666. GitHub. Oh, okay. Nala moon. Type Rocky Sulfur moon. Oh, that's cool. So it's the different moons and locations. Full system manifest. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love the style. Current temperature at Nala. Oh, that's so cool. Dude. Oh. There's the gallery. I see. I need to scroll down. Wow. Of that moon and that specific system. That's so cool. Well, that's nice. The amount of hours in a day in a moon is actually not too dissimilar from Earth. Oh, wait, there's music. There's music. There's music. I pause my music. Oh, it's so spooky.
Amaritha.
Nope, you can hear my notification. That's so cool.
Amaritha.
Yeah, I can see that there's a... I'm listening to the ambience right now. But let's go... Pause that. Redo that. Play Sulfur Run in dev. Desktop only at the moment. Whoa! Oh, it's a game! Oh! Oh, you can jump too? Oh, I died. Oh, you have to jump those. This is so cool! Ah! Oh, oh, that's so cool. Okay, can those be... Yes, they can. Do you want to collect those? Oh, and you can get a... There's a... I see. Oh, that's so cool. I love this. Oh, you can double jump. You can double jump. No way. Ah. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Dude, that's so cool. I love that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that. Let's see. My planetary base on the moon, Nala, a taste of honey neighbor. These beautiful remote locations give me the mindset I need to carry out the reported philosophy. Okay, let's go look at this real quick. So we got some wonderful pictures. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow, look at that. Nala News Network. This started as a simple question: what happens if you choose a moon at random and study as if it were the most important world in the galaxy? Nala became that moon, and this tracker became the answer. Oh, that's so cool. Whoa. Also, floating point error created a phase display lag of up to 2 hours when anchoring. Whoa. This is because of a 0.000000001 ms rounding glitch in the code. Crazy how these seemingly infinitesimal offsets can create such a massive difference. Now fixed, but wow. That's so cool. And it's showing like drift of the moon's distance, it sounds like. Solar day. That's really cool. Okay, we continue. These beautiful remote locations give me the mindset I need to carry out and report on the philosophy of raw running effectively. For those who wish to know more about our manifesto and methodology, I encourage you to consult our sections on the Distant Worlds 3 site. Oh. Same link. A raw runner challenge. Fly stock, don't engineer. Fly stock, don't engineer, become a raw runner. I love this. And she's the director of it too. Oh, that's so great. Yeah, the Mandalay is definitely going to be king for raw running. I will say I kind of have an obsession with ship crafting in general. I'll show you my my EDZ real quick, just while we're on stream. I'll show you the ship I currently am using, the Orca. That would be the Distant Worlds 3 iteration of my Orca. So this is what I use for my ship. Max jump range of 67.90. I was debating making it 69 because it would have been really fun if I had 69 jump range, but I ended up wanting to carry more stuff, and this is just more worth it. I put in a fuel tank, and so I doubled the amount of fuel. Like this, it can go over 72 if it didn't have that. Yeah, the Mandy's amazing. In my personal opinion, I think it's too good at too many things. I think it should have that good of a jump range and perhaps maybe that good of maneuverability, but I think that its amount of shields and its hard points should be nerfed in some way. Like it's just, I think it's too good at too many things. It shouldn't be better at other gameplay mechanics than other ships built specifically for that gameplay mechanic. That's just my opinion. Should be a great exploration ship, but I think it's too good of a jack of all trades. But anyways, enough of that. This is the ferry court. I was debating actually taking a with me instead a beluga. Yeah, I was debating taking a beluga, but I ended up not. It was just too much of a hassle. This would consistently infuriate me. The FSD in overheating every 39 seconds. Like the beluga is just so bad at heat efficiency. The thing is like you can't stand it. It's just awful. Like yeah, it takes 5 minutes to refuel. But I don't know. I was debating bringing a giant purple beluga, and then I ended up instead taking my Orca. So I'm using my Orca, and hey, it works out because it's the one that's on. It's the one that people know about now, I guess. It's the Orca that is on the cover, and hey, it's one that I'm using in the expedition. So any pictures that I see, people will. I don't know. People might connect the dots. That'd be kind of cool if they do. Who knows? But anyways, fun ship though. I built a beluga liner that this thing would be decent at exploring. Has a 57 jump range. It can go 1,231 light years before having to stop to refuel. Which, I mean, that's maybe about 25% farther than my Orca. But the thermals are awful. It would be such a pain to land all of those. You're a degenerate who can fly nothing but Gudamaya ships. Hey, I love that. Yeah, the cockpit bars are really awful. I will say, actually, I was going to say that the Orca doesn't have any cockpit bars, but it does have a cockpit bar. The Beluga does not. The Beluga actually does have like a fantastic view out of the front, but the Orca does have a cockpit bar just simply because... excuse me. Just because it's off to the side. Yeah, you want nothing in your vision. Thankfully, it's... I'll show it. Here, this is, I mean, this is the view from an Orca. Which, I mean, it's decent. It's not bad, actually. But even still, like, there's a rather large bit of thing here. And there's this. The Beluga is great. The Beluga doesn't have any of this. It's literally, it's like, it's just the hood here, and that's kind of it. Beluga has a fantastic view. Oh, also this is, yeah. Want to get yourself a Diamondback Explorer? You got yourself a Diamondback Explorer on the day of launch. Wanted to try that in VR just for the foot view. Yeah. It's my personal hope that FDev decides to add retrofit kits to the older ships. I think it'd be really cool if they make the Diamondback Explorer have some purpose to be used again. Because right now, there's zero reason to use a Diamondback Explorer over a Mandalay. The Mandalay is just that good. I think they should add retrofit kits, like spend X amount of either credits or arcs to make your ships of this type better. Just a straight up increase in its stats. I think that'd be a great way to make people interact more with arcs, personally. I think it'd be great. But anyways, the main reason why I say that is because I really, really like the Crate Phantom, and there is like zero reason to use it instead of a Mandalay or a Corsair. And it breaks my heart because I love the Diamondback. Sorry, the Crate Phantom. Crate Phantom is an exploration ship, and it's just flat out worse than the Mandalay at everything. I mean, okay, it has a little bit more cargo space, but I mean, that's hardly worth it. Anyways, continuing. A mindful invitation. Okay. For those who wish to know more about our manifesto, consult the site. For now, I offer readers an invitation to join me, not necessarily in practice, but in mindset, to ask a more important question. Why do we explore? Over the months that Distant Worlds 3 takes place, this is something for all of us to consider on our solitary trips far out into the black. These are easy answers, of course. To see new things. I'm suddenly reminded of Space, the Final Frontier. These are the voyages. To seek new answers, to boldly go. I'm reminded of that suddenly. To see new things, to be the first to stamp one's name on a system, to be the part of something grand, to push our vessels further than they've ever gone. These are all valid, but is there something more? What do we intend to discover about ourselves? I can start by sharing my own perspective. By embracing the nature of stock ships, I am forced to monitor my own limits and reactions. I fly mindfully. I contemplate the reasons for my choices. The galaxy feels more awe-inspiring this way, more imposing, more dangerous. I focus not on the ship, constantly trying to improve it by synthesis, but on myself. My journey supersedes my destination. I live eternally in the present without distraction. This is increasingly difficult in the modern era. There are innumerable forms of mental monopolization now, especially in the digital variety. Distractions can almost be measured per second. Yeah. How often do we allow ourselves to simply be, to watch the stars, to sit on a planet's surface and not be enveloped by the pull of the next medium? Is there really anything better than this? Can exploration also rightly be a form of monasticism? Now we have an incredibly fortuitous opportunity to consider this. I encourage us all to venture mindfully into the void, to seek the deep black in thought, to experience inspiration and vulnerability, to enjoy discoveries of all variations, and to consider the internal aspects of the long journey ahead. I am sure whenever we may return, there will be more to report and reveal than we could ever have imagined. Zel Akinyi, Natalia's Pass, Nala, Outer Arm, December 22nd, 3311. So cool. We continue. Big plans and small coincidences. Oh, that is gorgeous. And look, this is the roleplay content. So I'm assuming that the little blurb that I wrote is going to be on this page. Also, wow, I'm looking very closely. I can see little bits of anomalies. We have, let me zoom in. They're very hard to see, but look, we have a little thing there. Another cloud of stuff right there. Some more there. That's very cool. Okay. Out in the vast emptiness of space, it's the small things that will influence your journey and its outcome. Sure, there are big things to worry about. The weeks and months of procuring supplies, engineering your ship, organizing your crew, endless planning and calculations so you don't leave anything up to chance. But even the biggest plans don't survive the smallest coincidences. The small multi-tool you forgot to fasten to your belt as your cockpit canopy starts to crack. Your seatbelt refusing to unbuckle, and nothing within reach to cut yourself free to secure your escape. The small corner of that glass panel sealant that has started to chip ever so slightly on your fleet carrier, unnoticed until the panoramic window collapses and the alarm signaling a catastrophic atmospheric breach are blaring through the carrier hallways. Background: Commander Media Areto. Gorgeous. When Distant Worlds 3 was announced, the New Carthage Cartographics Institute of Lavini's Legion was in an uproar. How do I sign up? Became the most asked question of the day. I, by the way, am a member of the New Carthage cartographics institute of Lavinia's Legion. It's great. Yeah, that's actually why the LLV is a part. Yeah, there are 2 separate articles, and I'll have to read theirs as well. Yeah, I'm a part of their part too. In fact, anything that I write for the magazine, I check with them just to make sure it's good before submitting it. Just because it's important, right? If you're representing another guild, another group, you have to go and make sure you're representing them right, even if it's small. You used to be LLV. That's wonderful. I still am in the server. I'm not really active there, but I am a part of it, and I post stuff here and there. But yeah, LLV is Lavinia's Legion. So my ship is the LLV Ferry Court. It's actually very cool because anytime you dock with a station, it goes, "Welcome, Commander Lima, Victor," whenever you join, because it says the first 3 letters of your ship. And so, yeah, every ship, whenever I go to a station, it starts with Lima, Victor, which is really cool. You still have an ALD-inspired insignia, or ALD insignia you made in Blender as your desktop background. Oh, that's wonderful. That's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, it's so, and I just got your yes. It's super cool when that's the part with the station. Also, let me know how my microphone is doing. I am seeing that I'm constantly topping it out at around -3 decibels, -2 decibels. Gudamaya Alpha, Mike Alpha. Yeah, it's so cool. You're right, because it also says the ship. In my case, that'd be Saud Kruger, Lima, Victor is my ships. Yeah, Mike is great. Fantastic. Great to hear. I'm glad to hear. That's great. Yeah, it's good to just check, you know. But I thought it was good, but I just wanted to make sure. Awesome. This is a wonderful picture, by the way, with the black hole and and they have that too. I've been wanting to buy that. It's the edition for the Mandalay that turns it into a giant wedge. This to me feels a lot more Elite Dangerous. Like the wedge shape, not the I don't know. Elite Dangerous has a knack for simple designs in ships, and the Mandalay is a little too complex for me. But this makes it look a lot better in my opinion. This article was such a pain. Let me go read through it. How do I sign up became the most asked question of the day. Commanders were huddled over data pads. Oh, this article as in the roleplay content as a whole. I can imagine that because this probably has the most from external sources. The most you have to go. First had one of the purple pictures as main image. Yeah. Oh, it was a pain because it took so long to get the pictures you liked. These two are separate. Roger. Okay. This one is just a log of media. Okay. Gotcha. There's two separate. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine that arranging pictures can be a pain. I mean, people don't realize how challenging it actually is to orient something like this in a way that's really pretty to look at and easy to read. It's challenging. But anyways, commanders were huddled over data pads on the observation deck of the Institute soon after, eagerly trying to register their ships for the expedition. Every series pilot has heard of the Distant Worlds expedition before, as stories of their adventures have shaped the history of deep space exploration. While thousands of commanders marveled at the endless beauty of our universe during the first two Distant Worlds expeditions, I was still stuck on a science vessel orbiting some Earth-like world about 1,000 light years away from the bubble. The scientists I had shipped out to there were busy investigating a particularly interesting toad population and whatever else caught their fancy, while I could only dream of diving into the unknown myself one day. I love that. After joining the Legion, I soon started to organize expeditions so I could finally behold the wonders of the galaxy too. Taking care of the big problems came to me easily, and with the help of my fellow commanders, our expeditions mostly went without a hitch, if you don't count the one fleet carrier window. Someone must not have jumped on their fleet carrier in time. Planning for the big things gives you a warm feeling of control until you're back in your personal quarters and have to figure out just how many flight suits you will need or how many pairs of socks to pack. After all, you can't know for sure if anyone at Beagle Point is selling toothbrushes, in case your fellow expedition participants forgot to bring theirs. Speaking of Beagle Point and bringing oddities to Beagle Point, I'm proud to say that I have taken a luxury class passenger cabin to Beagle Point. That is one thing that Orca can do that the Mandalay cannot. It can carry a luxury class passenger cabin. And for that reason, I use an Orca. It's great. It's also just a pretty ship. I just like it. It's a wonderful ship. But yeah, it's great. What is it? 40 tons? 40 tons of just useless weight taking up the largest or second largest slot in your ship's modules. It does nothing. It does nothing at all. It just sits there. But it has bragging rights. It is really pretty. It's such a gorgeous ship. It really is. If I were to change anything with it, I think I would center the cockpit on the middle of the front, and instead of having just one multi-crew seat, I'd give it 2 multi-crew seats to the left and right. I think that's the only change I would make to it, being totally honest. Just center the seat and give it two multi-crew seats. Anyways, yeah, it'd be great. It'd be awesome. Common complaint? Yeah. It'd be great. Okay, let us continue. Looking at the confirmation of my successful registration for Distant Worlds 3 left me with conflicting feelings. On one hand, I had grown accustomed to being the one with the plan, the one responsible for the expedition carrier, spending long evenings in the captain's lounge, drawing up plans with my co-organizers. Knowing where we are going and knowing how long we will be gone is like a secure and warm blanket for me. For Distant Worlds 3, however, I am only one commander among many, whisked away along an adventure into the unknown. Leaving the big plans for others to worry about is frightening, but also freeing. It left me with time for my other duties, and I was able to more carefully consider the actually important things for this journey. For example, what paint job for my spaceship looks best in the pictures I will be taking during my travels. And I've packed some extra toothbrushes and multi-tools for my fellow participants of this expedition, just in case. I will say I was planning on carrying a full cargo of Lavian brandy, but I ended up forgetting to stock up on it. So if I ever come back to the bubble before the journey's over, I may end up taking some Lavian brandy just to jet into space during fun events. But yeah, that's great. We continue. Roleplay content. Scuttlebutt from the Black. Ooh, gorgeous. Look at that. Wow. That's definitely a picture from hyperspace. From which space? I'm assuming this is from the anomaly. Yep. There it is. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm excited to read this. Editor's note. We've received anecdotal reports of unusual events occurring in the transition to hyperspace during Distant World 3's launch event. We bring you 4 accounts from commanders who experienced these anomalies. I was only one of 4 people? No way. I feel like we need spookier music for this. Here we go. Perfect. All right. So wow, only 4 writers actually wrote for this, and I was one of them, Commander Serenia. That's amazing. Okay. Let's go ahead and read. Editor's note, we have received anecdotal reports of unusual events occurring in the transition to hyperspace during the Distant Worlds 3 launch event. We bring you 4 accounts from commanders who experienced these anomalies. Commander... I want to pronounce this right. Commander Tseriu, I'm going to say. Commander Tseriu. Still one of the longest spreads. Roger. 6 pages. Yeah. It's nice to, I think, what was it? No longer than 500 words, I think. So, small anecdotes, but still important. Was it 8? Oh, 8 pages. Dang, 8 pages. Okay. Commander Tseriu. I mean, who wouldn't be there for the mass jump? Even in the docking queues, some of the most trafficked stations, it's not often that you see thousands of commanders all gathered in one place, but I had always felt a certain air of caution surrounding these things. After I read AMEDA landing documents from the declassification in 3307, I've always been slightly on edge every time I jump. Sure, we've had a few hundred years, give or take, to iron out the flaws, but hyperdictions, voices, strange structures, and people getting turned inside out, it's insane to me that we casually pass through the cosmic underworld whenever we embark on expeditions like these. A sentiment reinforced by what happened during the mass jump. You know the feeling you get when you realize your onion head might be laced? Or that sinking feeling when you realize you forgot to restock your limpets? Imagine that, but throughout your entire body. As we entered witch space, it seemed to almost move slower. Stars weren't streaks moving past, they were just gently moving. There was blue light, lines connecting the stars into constellations no man has ever seen. A lurch that sounded like it echoed through space, and unknown systems malfunction, FSD failure, drop imminent, and suddenly my FSD was offline, and my ship was quiet. As I looked out the window, I saw witch space swirling around, stars flowing in streaks slowly, almost like a melting canvas painting. I made my way to the power section of my ship and was able to reinitiate a reboot repair sequence, then made my way back to the helm and tried to activate my FSD again. Cannot comply. Currently in hyperspace transit. Shit. Most people tend to assume that hyperspace jumps are an all-in-one miracle of science, but the FSD is a dual-function device. Supercruise is proven tech, but for witch space, it uses a Thargoid-derived wormhole projector for witch space travel. As far as we can tell, the only reason the Thargoids are able to navigate it so well is because it's where they dwell. We have to brute force a conduit, a clearing of stable witch space, to travel safely. The Alcubierre drive, during the jump into witch space, essentially creates a bubble of real space to protect ship and passengers from witch space's volatile physics and accelerate the ship rapidly towards the destination. So as far as I could tell, the ship's software was confused. The ship wasn't on a conduit, but it was still in hyperspace, which meant, somehow, the Alcubierre field had been kept activated. That's why I was alive, and why my DNA hadn't scattered hundreds of light years across in a strip, a plank wide. Chalk it up to a guardian angel, or just luck. By that logic, if I could manually force the projector part to activate, all I had to do was use my ship's drives to make it through. It would be an immense stress on the ship's energy and fuel, but if the Caspian had one thing, it's a huge fuel tank. I had to stay with my Kovas, activated my FSD, and ran sub-procedure 052577, one of the jump procedures that opens the gate to witch space. The ship's heat spiked rapidly, and I saw the fuel gauge draining faster than you could possibly imagine. But all it took was me boosting to return to real space. My ship lurched, powered off, then powered on again. The sky looked almost boringly normal. I was terrified, but alive. I still don't know what saved me that day. I don't know if anyone else experienced what I did, but I'm sure this wasn't an isolated incident. If something hadn't saved me there, kept my ship from being exposed to witch space, well, just remember that poor pilot at AMEDA landing who got turned inside out. The possibility of that happening to anyone else terrifies me. You don't believe me, do you? And here's my entry. Commander Serenia. Kovas. Incoming message. Message? But we're in witch space. That's not possible. Unknown. You, as we, together. Kovas. Systems restored. Serenia sighs and pours herself a drink. The confused commander sits alone in the dim light of the powered-down bar aboard her vessel, the LLV Ferry Court. The empty halls of the converted liner give little comfort to the questions in her mind. She sips. Kovas, play the log again. Replaying audio log of Hyperspace Anomaly, January 18, 3301. Oh, did you get the time wrong? I might have gotten the time wrong. Okay. Kovas, frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Hyperspace conduit unstable. Liv, is that normal? Serenia. Shit. No, it's not. Embrace for impact. Conduit supercharged. What? Warning. System breach attack. Infiltration. Commands received. Systems reconfiguring. Yeah, no one will notice. Yeah. Commander, what's going on? We're under attack somehow. These readings are off the charts. Kovac, power plant capacity increased. Sensors supercharged. Liv, look out the window. There's lights. Yeah, but why? Incoming message. Message? But we're still in witch space. That's not possible. You. As we. Together. Systems restored. Audio log replay complete. Thank you, Kovac. Start a new log. The computer chirps, signaling the start of a fresh recording. Commander's log. Stardate 33-12-01-18-1900. It is the first day of Distant Worlds 3, and mysteries are already surfacing. Earlier today, during the synchronized departure from NGC 1981, Sector ZU-Y D27, I, along with countless other commanders participating in the inaugural mass launch, encountered an anomaly while in hyperspace. Reports are still coming in, describing strange voices and geometric lights following and encircling ships while in witch space. Local system comms are rampant with speculation, but there's no clear evidence as to the cause. My current hypothesis is that there is some kind of byproduct of activating so many frameshift drives in so close proximity, and the strain that so many overlapping wakes had on spacetime. Though exactly what the voices and lights are, I can't yet say. For the time being, we are awaiting additional data before determining whether further hyperspace jumps are safe. Satisfied with the recording, the young commander pushes off from her seat and, glass in hand, sails gracefully across the hall to the large observation window. Coming to a halt by the glass and gazing out at the untold host of stars, planets, and dust, all of it within her reach, a smile creeps onto her face. This expedition will certainly be interesting. Commander mostly AWOL. Fun name. There's nothing subtle about a Distant Worlds mass jump. Across the formation, thrusters lit up in neon blues, toxic greens, and proud pinks, transforming the formation into a brief carnival. The count hit 0, the colors drew into long ribbons, and the fleet started to slip into hyperspace. Soon, the Obscura Voyager followed its own entry into the Veil. Ahead of the ships... Yeah, I'm glad I got my updates in too, yeah. Mostly AWOL, love it. Yeah, it's a good name, Grim. Ahead of the ship, a bright line skated across the tunnel. It cut out at sharp angles, a quick zigzag laid over the flowing walls, then held as a clean geometric trace before thinning. It was neither a flare nor a spark. It looked placed. The hyperspace tunnel took on a slow ripple, like a wake reaching a pier. From the ripple, a bright line formed, through 2 quick angles, and ran parallel to their track. It held steady against the drift, too clean for glare and too sharp for noise. Then it narrowed, broke, and folded back into the ordinary shimmer. Nova, did you see that? Clark asked. Some kind of light in hyperspace. I've not seen it before. Readings are normal. Nothing is out of spec, and nothing is flagged. If there is something there, it is subtle and within normal variance, Commander. Nova, switch to cockpit cam. It's up, Nova said. I see the lights you are indicating. Think this ties into the FSD 77-44A signal? Unlikely, Nova said. 77-4A arrived as a clear sensor event. This does not trigger any alarms. It is a visual oddity during the jump. Record what you can and file it in the encrypted archives, Clark said. Give it a label. Recording camera frames, ship time, and jump markers, along with sensor data we do have, Nova said. Saved as DW3-MJ-001. Encrypted and tagged for follow-up. If it shows up again, nudge me, quietly. Alert set to low. I will keep watch. Thanks, Nova. You are welcome, Commander, Nova said. Also, compliments to the teal thrusters on 2 ships. 2 ships up. Very tasteful. Focus, Nova. I'm focused. Watching the lights responsibly. Oh, that's cute. I love that. Commander Torlowisk. I love how this starts. What the fuck? No, no, not now. Not another damned FSD tantrum. I swear the ship's trying to kill me. Where are the lights coming from? What's the tunnel warp? Why is the tunnel warping like that? Oh, we need more spooky. Wait. Okay, here we go. Where are these lights coming from? Why is the tunnel warping like that? Looks like it's tearing itself inside out. Don't tell me the crooked bastard on that backwater mudball sold me a control unit ripped straight out of a scrapyard heap. I knew it. I should have walked away. I should have trusted my gut. This boat isn't fresh off the line. It never was. Half our guts are held together with tape, rust, and pure stubbornness. Now something out there is pulling at the seams. The flashes hit harder, strobe-like, violent. A hyperspace thunderstorm? Hell if I know. It's not the Thargoids, that I know. Feels like someone's beating the hull with a sledgehammer. Metal twists, screeches, groans. Like the whole frame is begging for mercy. Shite. When did I last check the escape pod? Hold together, damn you, I muttered. Pointless. First jump of the expedition, first bloody jump, and the whole boat's dying under me. This run is supposed to earn enough credits for something decent. Something that didn't smell of burned wiring and regret. Maybe one of those sleek beauties that paraded at the meeting point. Or, shit, did I pick up Fuelumian rods? Or shit, did I pick up Fuelumian rodents on that forsaken outpost? Chewing on the biotech seams? Gnawing through insulation? No. Cargo scans were clean. The scan worked. The scanners worked, weren't they? The ship bucks violently, lurches sideways. My harness bites into my ribs. Can barely breathe. Can barely think. Okay. Calm. Options? Not many. Strap in tighter. Don't puke. Don't black out. Don't die. Then... voices. I freeze. Am I drunk? Did I hit the Lavian stash? No. Haven't touched a drop in weeks. Doesn't matter. This isn't drunken nonsense. Too sharp. Too cold. Crawling along the inside of my skull. What are they saying? I can't tell. The tone feels... wrong. Not words. Not human. Shit. Head down. Eyes shut. Don't let it in. Capricornices bugs? Brought in with the provisions, maybe? Hallucinogenic shit leaked up from the food crates? No. Systems showed one life form on board. Just me. Just me losing my mind in a dying ship in a breaking hyperspace tunnel. Something wrong. Deeply wrong. Like the universe is buckling in on itself. Don't panic. Don't... I need to drop out of hyperspace. Fast. But the controls are dead or ignoring me. Buttons light up. Blink. Die. Screens spit gibberish. Even Kovas is rambling bullshit. Fuck. Words didn't help. My throat's dry as sand. That's it. The ship's done. I'm not getting out of the seat. Forget the escape pod. May as well be welded shut. I'm not a pilot anymore. I'm cargo. Dead weight. A passenger. Adrift. In what? Is this the end? Spooky! Oh! I love it. Alright, and on to the next section too. That's a fun one. I love all the different, what is it? What is the reference here? The Lavian stash for brandy, I'm assuming. Lavian brandy. Fuelumian rodents. I love that. Yeah. Oh, this is the last article? Roger that. Oh, there's some cool pictures here. Look at that. Okay. Stellar Properties Scientific Survey by Commander Jitoi. Sorry, Jitadoi. Commander Jitadoi. Distant Worlds Scientific Project. Ooh, fun song. Stars in Elite Dangerous come in all shapes and classes, but did you ever wonder why sometimes stars of the same class can have widely different properties? Did you ever want to map all the stars in a sector to find out just how the Stellar Forge creates stars? Lucky for you, so did we. Join us as part of Commander Just Bear Lee's Stellar Properties Scientific Survey and through Distant Worlds 3 we'll be mapping stars to find out how voxels influence the makeup of systems. But first, what are voxels? As a quick aside, this whole thing is basically an overview of what some people are doing in Distant Worlds 3. There's a large scientific survey being done based on data that pilots are going to be feeding into a giant survey, basically. They're cataloging a bunch of stars and using it for figuring stuff out about the galactic forge, the stellar forge, I should say, that Elite Dangerous uses to make stars. This song is a little bit too upbeat for this. I need something that's more ambient. There we go. I'm thinking, do I want to do a voxel survey at some point? Yeah, that would be interesting. If I did, I would probably stream it myself, but I don't know if I will. More important than that, I want to reach Void's Brink, which is a wild distance away. It's harder to get to than Beagle Point. I think it takes like double the distance. It's the eastern meridian, basically. It's at the very edge of one of the arms. But anyways, voxel server would be interesting. I don't know if I will or not. I guess we'll see. I am kind of curious. But yeah, okay. First, what are voxels? We all know that the galaxy is made up of sectors, which are roughly cubes 1,280 light years on each side. Fun fact, it's not just the sectors, it's cubes all the way down. Each sector is made up of to 8 groups of overlapping cubes we call voxels. You see, the gibberish is procedurally generated system names that are not entirely meaningless. Yeah, basically every system name in-game is assigned to a voxel. A voxel has one particular system name, from what I understand. Here's a picture. Preye Usui PD-I B23-1. That's a star near the opposite side of the galactic core. Cool. Actually, not too far from where Earth is, I think, on the opposite side of the galaxy. Okay, each sector contains up to 1 H-mass voxel, voxel covering the full 1,280 cubed light year. 8 G-mass voxels. I wonder what that 8 G-mass voxels. I wonder what a G-mass voxel is. H-mass, G-mass. Oh, is that the size of the star? Yeah. I mean, it is an appropriate image. It just shows what it is that you're mapping, the stars. This article had 0 pictures. I mean, that's data for you. I tell you. It's almost fitting that they didn't send you pictures. Yeah, that's funny. Interesting. H-mass, G-mass, F-mass, A-mass voxels. I'm very curious what that means. What a H-mass voxel is. Sectors, octrees, cubes of galactic information, 8 layers of cube. A cube knows its mass region type. Cubes inherit leftover data from parent. Age, mass, metallicity type. It has run out of mass, run out number of space for the system ID. Interesting. So, okay. What I'm understanding from the... I do have to go back up, yeah. Or did I miss something here? I mean, a voxel is this, but I don't know if I read that paragraph is supposed to be read top to bottom. Yeah, I'm reading this and then up to this. Or is it this and then this? Maybe that's what it is. Oh, I see. Take system Preye Ausui PDI-23, for example. So you have a picture of that system. I see. Preye Ausui, or Aussie, I should say, is the procedural name. PD-I and the 23 are voxel identifiers for indexing and determining the position in the sector. 1 is a system index marking it as the second system in that voxel, and, most importantly, B is the mass code of that system, indicating the amount of mass in the stellar age of that system. There are 8 codes going from A to H, where A has the least mass and H has the most. Gotcha. So you can tell by the by the identifier for the system, this one being B, how big the system is. So the system that has H in the name has the most mass of any system. So if you can, so interesting. So you can search for star systems that have H in their name, and you will be searching for star systems that have the most mass in a given voxel. Interesting. In practical terms, A mass systems have the lightest stars, usually brown dwarfs, some T Tauris. H mass codes have black holes and a collection of O and B class stars. Her bigs, with everything else in between. Interesting. You do see star types in the galaxy as well. That is true. You also see stars types in the galaxy. So I guess what you could do is, if you wanted to find a particularly interesting system, you could let's say you want to search for a system that could have Earth-like worlds that also has a lot of mass, a lot of interesting stuff in that system. Then I guess you filter out non-sequence stars, so you filter out to not see black holes. And you filter out planets that often have Earth-likes around them, so like K-class stars, M-K-class stars. And then, correct me if I'm wrong in that, but I've found, whenever I have found like life in systems, it's usually like M or K-class. But anyways, you can filter that and then just find the heavier stars. I guess you could do that. That'd be interesting. Each sector contains up to 1 H mass voxel, covering the full 8 G mass voxels, 64 F mass, and so forth, down to A mass voxels, of which there can be up to 2 million in each sector. God damn. Wow. No idea actually for what stars have common life. That makes sense. Yeah. Not all systems are created equal, and we aim to find out why. Intriguing. One side note, I did notice that the emblems don't always they sometimes have a black square around them. I don't know if it's possible to go back and edit that out, but I wish it was possible to do that. That'd be really nice. Okay, why do we do this? Every commander who's spent time in the black knows the routine. Jump in, honk the discovery scanner, check the system map, and decide what's worth investigating. But here's where the bias creeps in. Commanders tend to scan what is visually noteworthy or what is valuable and move on. Them Earthlikes are sure lucrative, aren't they? Yeah, yes they are. Generally forgotten? I gotcha. It's okay. It's heavy on scoopable, but for the Oasis one, that's supposed to be with the black border. Yeah, that makes sense. Gotcha. I guess it strikes me as I would strip out the I would strip out the square, but leave the black on the inside, I think is what I would do. But I don't know. That's just me. I was on the cover one too. The first one in the magazine as well. It's heavy on scoopable stars. Oh, sorry, what was I doing? What was I doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most commanders don't, like, in-depth search systems. They honk, they find the Earthlikes, and they leave. It's heavy on... Let's see. The existing EDDN Elite Dangerous Network database, while impressive, tells a skewed story. It's heavy on scoopable stars and interesting systems, while the humble brown dwarfs, icy rocks, and unremarkable M-dwarf systems get overlooked. He took a picture of the star like 10 hours ago. Oh, it is! Look at that! That's wonderful. And you have your honker here. Honk. I have a mod that shows when something's an Earth-like world. It has an overlay for this, which is very handy. Perhaps a little bit cheaty. But it makes it... it's not so cheaty as time-consuming. As time-saving, I should say. I like mods that save time, and I have a couple that do that. And we have the JP, the journal processor. I use ED Discovery for all my journal processing, but same thing. Having a thing that does that. Oh, nice. There's a YouTube video linked for how to do that. Very nice. How do we do this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, so the EDDN network is skewed in what it has mapped. It's heavy on scoopable stars and interesting systems, and I have hiccups. Apologies. While the humble brown dwarfs, icy rocks, and unremarkable dwarf systems get overlooked, it's understandable who has time for every lonely ice ball when there's new worlds to discover. But this selection bias means our understanding of galactic structures is like trying to understand Earth's population with only shopping malls on weekends. That's true. That's a great analogy. Guess why nobody ever takes pictures of solo dwarfs. Yeah, no joke. It kept crashing your new PC. Oh, that's unfortunate. Ha, you found a picture with one. That's great. Yeah. Cool video as well, though. Yeah. Oh, nice. You have another one in Running Man Sector. Let's go. We like Running Man Sector. Oh, it's a long video. Oh, that's a gorgeous background. Wow, I just want to comment. Gorgeous. Look at this guy's desktop background. That is amazing. Oh, and look, he's using voice attack. I use voice attack as well for a lot of my automation. Nice. This guy also has a custom HUD. Custom HUDs are the best in this game, I tell you. Very useful video. Oh, this is for plotting routes. Yeah, I do a lot of route plotting. I do route plotting in ED Discovery and Voice Attack. It's so handy. I use Voice Attack mostly for flavor. I use it for request docking. Whenever I request docking, I do it through Voice Attack. 1K views. Yeah, up and coming indeed. I used Voice Attack a few years back. Yes. A few years back with the game. Yeah, it's really nice. Okay, we continue. This selection bias means that our understanding of galactic structure is like trying to understand Earth's population by only surveying shopping malls on weekends. We get a picture, but it's not the whole picture. After you notice the patterns, you also start noticing the anomalies. Why is that red giant 50 solar radii, but the other from Tim Systems ago was barely larger than an average red dwarf? Or, why are those F-class subgiants so rare? How do we do this? We need to perform complete FSS scans of systems across all mass codes. In areas of high density, this will not be feasible, unless you have a couple of lifetimes left. So to ensure unbiased results, the recommended approach is to scan every nth in that voxel starting from 0. When starting to survey a voxel, first determine and record the highest numbered system in that voxel by simple binary search using GalMap. For example, if you're surveying voxel Preye Auswe PD-I B23-, search for, say, Preye Auswe BD-I B23-1000. If that doesn't exist, try 5000. If that doesn't exist, try 7500, and so on. A form will be posted when the survey begins to allow you to enter this number for each voxel that you visit. Then decide how many systems you can reasonably visit. If you can visit all of them, wonderful. Start at index 0 and keep going to the end. Okay, that is actually pretty sick. This might be really cool to do. Yeah, that might be really cool to do. I wonder how it would change from my existing infrastructure for route plotting. Elite Dangerous Journal Processor is one tool that can help you with this, including skipping systems already known to EDSM/EDDN, but it's easy enough to do by hand anyway. Okay, yeah, I could probably use my own route plotter for that. If there are too many systems to visit, all start at 0 and increment each time by the same number to get to the end in an appropriate number of visits. I mean, I could do like 200 stars probably. Maybe 300? Who knows? For example, if the voxel is 750 systems, and you decide the feasible to visit of 25, increment by 750 divided by 25. So visit 30 system, increment by 30 and visit 0, then 30, then so forth. That's so cool. See, this is the kind of cool stuff about Elite Dangerous that I enjoy. Like the actual mechanics behind the Stellar Forge. Like literally learning what the randomly generated system names are. That's so cool. Then you fire up your EDDN connected third party. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Look, it mentions ED Discover right there. All of those. Yeah. Connect. Yeah. So figure out that, increment it, then boot up your software, and get scanning. Don't worry if you have to break off early. Oh, this would be so easy to do. Yeah, dude, this would be extremely easy to do. I make my routes by making a literally a text file. I make a text file, and then I import it through the route plotter in ED Discovery. So literally, I could just pick any voxel, put in the name, generate a list of every system name, and then just literally just import that straight in. That'd be super cool. Huh. I should totally do this. I'm gonna do this. We're doing this. Don't know when, but we're doing a voxel. It's so cool. And I'll at least be able to say that I've helped with it. That's awesome. And don't worry if you have to break off early. So long as we have the system count, we can work out how complete the coverage is. All data can be useful in the end. Why Distant Worlds 3? Distant Worlds 3 is likely the greatest gathering of like-minded space geeks, science geeks, and data wranglers you're likely to encounter in Elite Dangerous. I will say I am a bit of a data wrangler in some regards. Like I've done a lot of planning into the optimization of these ships. All of these are pretty silly in their amount of planning. Like this right here, these are the max jump ranges for all of these ships. So an Anaconda has a maximum jump range with like literally everything else that costs mass stripped down. This thing has 0 wasted mass. It has like this thing would be awful to drive. It has no shields. It has the weakest possible power distributor. You can't boost on this thing. Weakest thrusters. This thing is limping along. My favorite neurodivergence simulator, Elite Dangerous. It's so true though. I've been coming to grasp with that. I do have some level of neurodivergence in terms of being obsessed over numbers way more than is reasonable. Like I've stayed up until 5 a.m. numerous occasions staring at this shit. But yeah, like this thing. So yeah, an Anaconda has a maximum jump range of 87.39 light years, or 91.23 if you are completely emptying your fuel. A Mandalay has a maximum jump range of 99.38. Maximum jump range of 99.38, which is just nuts. An Orca has a max of 82.98. And again, oh, and look at this, just filled with fuel tanks. This thing could go 1,380 light years without refueling, but it would take like 2 minutes to refuel. But yeah, these things would not be fun to fly. I first kitted out my ship with no boost. I couldn't do it. Feels wrong. Yeah. Side note to boost, the Orca, when you boost with the Orca, it's the most satisfying thing because it like puts out a beep, like because it's a cruise ship, and so whenever you boost, it goes bing and then boosts. It's so satisfying. It's like a notice to crewmates, we're boosting. It's so good. But yeah, and then we have our ships here. All of these are our LV Realm of Madness. These are my ships with maximum speed. These are kitted out for like maximum speed over a long duration. So all of their boost frequencies around like 11 to 15 seconds, which is pretty much the maximum, so the minimum it can be without wasting seconds. They're fast, needless to say. Boosting at 925, boosting at 889, boosting at 664. I'm not a good pilot, but I have engineering skills. At least I'd like to think I do. Oh yeah, I built a dolphin because I thought it'd be fun to make a dolphin that is exploration optimized as well. So this is an exploration dolphin. If I ever wanted to fly a dolphin. This thing doesn't have the best of range, But it does explore. I actually might remove the Repair Olympic controller because I don't really need it. I've been learning that I don't need the Repair Olympic controller. So I might do this instead. And I do kind of want a laser and a point defense turret. Let's look, where is it? Ship anatomy. Oh, that's bright. Dolphin. So it has 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. Oh, nice. So 2 and 3 are on the top, 1's on the bottom. So the one on the bottom center, I would make, oh, and hard points are going to be unused, I think. Wait, no. A moment. Dolphin. Heatsink launcher. Let's look at our Orca again. Heatsink launcher, point defense turret. We're going to update this really quick. It won't take long, I swear. Point defense turret, right there. And a beam laser. It's going to be off-centered, sadly. That's unfortunate. We'll use mount 2. Beam laser. And I've found actually that I kind of like, they weigh the same, but I actually kind of like the non-gimbal one because it doesn't move as you aim. That's a lightweight strip down. We'll go lightweight strip down, lightweight stripped down. I don't believe there's a passenger cabin that's a 4A. So if we want a luxury cabin, it has to be the 5B. 4A fuel scoop. There's that. There's that. AFMU. I think, oh, this thing... Actually, wait. Oh, no, yeah, we have a... Yeah, we do have a vehicle hangar. Look at that. We do already have a planetary vehicle hangar. I might just take more fuel. So we'll make this be a cargo rack. Apparently, it's nice to keep a cargo rack on your ship. And then we'll just increase our fuel slightly. A little more fuel. I do appreciate, look, we're at 99.7 fuel usage. Sorry, energy usage. How fast is this thing compared to our Orca? Oh, it's fast. Can we make this thing lighter? Engine focused, stripped down? No. Dude, this thing is zippy. Look at that. It doesn't jump as far, and it has like half the range. But, I mean, you know what, maybe I just go without a shield generator. I could really make this thing, this might be when I use no shield generator. What do you think? Yeah, fast as fuck, boy! We could go with a shieldless dolphin. I feel like that's like a meme as well, the shieldless dolphin. Thing is, we're already using the smallest the smallest power plant possible. Yeah, you know what? Okay. Oh, I opened this in a new tab. That's unfortunate. LV Ferry Court. We gotta make these retrofit because I forgot to not open it in a new tab. Easy though. Put that there. Lightweight. Stripped down. Heatsink launcher goes there. Point defense goes there. Oh, where is it? Point defense. Also, this song is like the perfect outfitting music. I love this. put that there. Send track banger. It is actually it's on the bottom. On Wheels by Jazzar. They're a Creative Commons artist. So whenever I do listen to music, I listen to my own music usually on stream with the audio turned off. But when I do stream music, it's usually a mixture of Jazzar and the Precursors, which made music for Star Control 2, which is an ancient game that I should not know about, but I do because of my dad. But let's see. Tiny cargo rack. I do kind of want to, let's see, fuel scoop, shield generator. Yeah, we'll just do this. Planetary vehicle hanger. AFMU. We just cleared out 2 spots for fuel. So let's add some fuel. Okay. This thing can jump decently far now before it has to refuel. It does kind of hurt that I have to put the luxury class passenger cabin in the size 5 slot, because normally you'd put the frameshift booster there, but you can't. Power plant doesn't need to be... oh, actually, overcharge is better because it... this thing runs so cold. That's crazy. Look at that. Wow. I'm wondering if... well, we'll save this first. And then let's actually see if I were to remove... Let's see how high we can get that jump range. I'm going to get back to the article shortly. I apologize. This is me. This is what I do. Fuel scoop. Let's see. Frameshift booster goes there. And if that's a fuel tank... Dang. Still doesn't jump quite as far as the ferry court, but it'd be very fun to pilot. Oh, and it reaches 100%. You see that? Totally fine. Still eating dinner. Perfect. That's good. Let's see. Okay. I like this. Look at that. This reaches exactly 100% usage. Unfortunately, because of rounding in the game, the in-game panel will never read 100% usage. It always reads 99%. Even if it's using 99.9999 repeating, it will still read 100%. Or sorry, it'll still read 99. It won't ever round up the number in-game to 100%, unfortunately. Anyways, this thing still has a shield generator, too. Oh, never mind. Sorry, that's the wrong one. It's this one. Vehicle hanger. I will say it would actually be really wise to give myself a shield generator. How much would be sacrificing? Not too much in terms of jump range. Shield generator. The 3D is the smallest that can fit. So we go with 3D, enhanced low power, stripped down. Okay, sweet. There we go. So yeah, all that fits into one. I like having my power usage under 50%. That way, if for some reason you have a malfunction, you're still fine. Okay. We kind of can take all, if we remove our luxury class passenger cabin, which is unfortunate, we can squeeze a pretty good chunk of distance out of this thing. Let's see for fuel scoops. The 4A has a scoop rate of 0.342. Oh, that's significantly less. We don't want to have it be that low. No lux. I mean, this would totally work. Okay. I like how the fuel tanks are just spread out throughout this ship. That's so funny. It might be smart to take a... I really don't need it. The fuel tanks will have more use. I was debating if I really should take a... what do you call it? If I should take a repair limpet controller, but I don't believe I really need one. Okay. It's so funny. They're just like all over this ship. Yeah. So without a luxury class passenger cabin, this thing does decent. Look at that. Jump range of 66 and a range of 827. Still doesn't compare to the Orca. The Orca's still better. But this thing would be a lot more fun to drive. Like, it just moves a lot faster. Okay, let's go back though. But yeah, this is the kind of thing I love. I just love going in details on that. This is my crate Phantom that I used for gathering materials, and I still have it. But I've transitioned over to a Mandalay just because the Mandalay is just so good. But yeah. Oh, this right here, Caspian Explorer. This is designed for a Colonia Soul speedrun because I wanted to do that at some point. You can make it in very few jumps. Though it looks like right now it is unable to move when laden. That's hilarious. I wonder what I messed up with that. Anyways, looks like that's an unfinished thing. The Mandalay... We'll peek at this and then go back. So this is my Mandalay that I use for gathering stuff, really. Titan drive components and whatnot. But my Orca is definitely my pride and joy. I love this thing so much. I love this thing. Okay, back to the article though. Why Distant Worlds 3? Distant Worlds 3 is likely the greatest gathering of like-minded space geeks, science geeks, and data wranglers that you'll likely to encounter in Elite Dangerous. There's no better time or place to contribute to large-scale science in-game. Results from the Distant World 3 expedition will inform explorers for years to come, revealing patterns, surprises, and maybe even the next galactic mystery. What's in it for you? Besides the glory, the camaraderie, and the sense of contributing to a greater galactic good? As with all exploration in Elite Dangerous, you get to discover all manners of quirks and wonders, and get to put your commander name on and share all of them. neutron pairs, moons, ringed Earth-likes, and many others are out there waiting to be found. And besides stellar forge mechanics, you can learn about real-life astronomy, stellar classes, star sequences and age, spectral classes and luminosity, metallicity, and best of all, you'll be doing so as part of a large community. Oh, and if you're into statistics, there'll be plenty of graphs to feast on. Very nice. So spool up those FSDs, plot your courses, and prepare to see the galaxy with new eyes. The stars, they are waiting, and they have stories to tell. Oh, and that's it. That's the end of it. Some wonderful pictures from the mass launch. Look at that stack. Oh, that is wonderful. Look at that. Everybody heading out. Commander Protocops, Nick Pradiaksh. Nice. Commander Simeon Gray. Look at that, the pancake stack. I will say, in the mass launch that I had, there were also a bunch of Caspian Explorers there, and they also had the urge to stack. I'm telling you, man, just it's a thing. People stacking. I like the three Mandalays that are all staring around this. Dude, that dude must be blinded. That's hilarious. Well, that was a treat to read. Such a treat to read. Let's go back to the first page again. There's a pic with even more ships. The lights are so bright, the SRV became invisible. I noticed it. It took me a second. I was like, what are they staring at? Oh, I see tread marks. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, the ship. Oh, I see. The ship a pic with even more ships, but the lights are so bright that the SRV became invisible. That's so funny. Wow. Again, it's an honor that you chose my picture to be the front cover. I agree, it is a gorgeous picture. Yeah, that was such a great picture when I took it. And I love that you can actually tell, like, I think the system is called Beacon of the Galaxy, if I'm remembering right, because it has a group of 6 really bright stars. And they're gorgeous. And so I saw it and I was like, that's a great picture. Posted it there, and then you happened to be scrolling through, I'm assuming on the FleetComm, the pictures channel, and you must have just seen it. But yeah, it's an honor to be the front cover. It's great. I'm planning on participating more in this journey. There's a chance now that people will see my Orca and be like, hey, you were on the cover of the first edition of the magazine. And I'll be like, yeah, it's great. But yeah, I'm very curious and eager for the future editions to come. This is a treat to read. And I'm very curious about the rest of the stuff here. So, distance 0 light year, this is going to increase. What does this mean? I'm curious. Does this bar have any purpose? Or is it just like a fuel meter? Like fuel running low? I do love the graphics. They're so pretty. Very Elite Dangerous-esque. And the orange of this pairs very well with the purple background. You're looking for something to sketch out on the cover, but then I liked it so much I wanted to keep it. You say look with a period and then you're typing. There used to be preview lines of the articles. I think you sent me a picture of that. They got struck? Alas. I guess they wanted the front cover to be less cluttered, is my bet. One thing I am kind of curious about is, I don't know if it's just me seeing this. There's a shape there. What is that? The thing was more work. It was extra work for the writers. Yeah, that's unfortunate. No, don't look at it! What is it? Hey, don't worry. My screen's dark enough. Sorry, my screen has enough, what do you call it? Contrast that I can see it, but I bet most people won't. But what is it? I'm curious. We'll see. All right. I think that's it for me, though, for this stream. Oh, I forgot to remove it. Roger. I mean, hey, if you really want, I bet you could replace the article on the website, right? That wouldn't be impossible to do. If you found edits to do later, you could just put up a edited version and people wouldn't even notice. And then you zoomed in. I did zoom in. It's so funny. This is great. I love the... you can't hear it, but there's a sound effect whenever I turn the pages, and I love that. Purely decorative. Roger that. They're quite nice. I think I am going to call it here for the stream, though. I just wanted to go and look over the document, because it came out. I've been excited for this to come out, and I've been excited to read it. I've been stoked about this whole project, really. And it's starting. It's finally kicking off. I personally am very curious where the narrative is going to go. There's very clearly stuff being planned in the background. I know that the writers are working with FDev for something. There's already some great questions raised. It's interesting. Who knows what's going to be going on? They definitely added something special for the launch day with the hyperspace anomaly. That was a visual thing that I saw. Like, in hyperspace, they actually made a weird thing happen. And it's not an unusual thing, but it happened. So it's cool. You only make pretty pictures? Well, hey, we appreciate the pretty pictures. And I'm glad you got to share my joy. I like sharing it. It's good to have. And hey, I'm here to share it. It's what we're here for. Yeah, with that, I think I'm going to end the stream here. It's been a blast. It's been fun doing this. I think I'm going to hop off and play some Baldur's Gate 3. I just got into the Grim Forge, so we're running through the Underdark right now. It's fun. Until next time, hope you have a good one. Take care.